All right, Clean Freaks, we are back in studio with our sterile packaging expert here on Beyond Clean, the packaging princess herself, Malinda Elammari, clinical education specialist at Healthmark Industries, a Getinge Company. Malinda, welcome back to the show today.
Thanks, Hank. Thanks for having me.
So we're talking about Inspector Gadget.
I know.
Ensuring the integrity of our rigid containers. And you and I were talking before we went on air. Inspector Gadget was the bomb.com.
Yes.
I mean, it was the real deal.
Just think about how much we could get done in sterile processing if we had the Inspector Gadget gadgets, right?
That would be really cool.
Like all of a sudden this big arm comes up over you and starts wrapping your tray while you're inspecting and doing, I know.
And like the cart wash opens and like you can go open it without leaving your table. I mean, it'd be terrific.
Those are like two things that I really want is an Inspector Gadget, like gadget system on me at all times. And the second thing is a Willy Wonka elevator.
Like that takes you where?
It takes you
the
wherever
sky?
you want to go. Like you just push a button and boop, you're right there. You're there.
You're
Doesn't
going.
matter.
Well, I think that Inspector Gadget one may not be too far away. I don't know about the elevator. We could be a couple years for that. So speaking of rigid containers, to make the worst segue ever, when the majority of this series so far, we've been talking about either wrap or peel packs, but obviously rigid containers are a big part of this packaging conversation in the SPD. So let's talk about inspecting them, because I think out of all of the different packaging methods, it's like we view these containers as indestructible, and so we don't give them the credit that they deserve and require on this inspection piece. So where do we start if you're explaining this concept to technicians?
Yeah, you're right. Containers definitely get no love. Like they're just, So there's so many things with rigid containers that I see out there that we are not doing a very good job with. As far as inspecting them, there's things that we need to be looking at every single time we are processing a rigid container. One of the biggest things is the gasket on the rigid container, ensuring that gasket is not broken or damaged. That gasket is what is going to create that seal on that container and allow it to remain sterile. If the gasket is broken or damaged, I think in our last series or the series before that, we talked about, processing something in a popcorn bag, right? Sorry, it's really that would be just then like processing something in a cardboard box for that matter, right? Like it doesn't do anything if the gasket is not intact and sealed. The other factor that you really have to take in consideration and pay attention to is the filters. Making sure those filters. So the way that your wraps work, the way that your peel pouches work, your filters work the same way. They have pores on them that open up to allow the sterilant to get in, air to come out, that kind of stuff. And then once it's cooled and sealed, that wrap, those filters, the pores on the filters close and it creates that sterile barrier where nothing else can get inside. So many times we hear, well, it's a rigid container, so it's indestructible, right? It's like, no, it's not. It's, obviously has a little more rigidity than obviously a peel pack or a wrap tray. However, it's not indestructible, right? So if you put that filter on and it's got a fold in it, or the filter's not, the retention plate is not sealed correctly, right? So that's another thing is retention plates. Are we inspecting those? Are we looking at them to make sure that the gasket around the retention plates are intact? Or when we put them down, do we check them to make sure that they don't spin? We're not DJs. we're not like spinning records here, right? Like it's not meant to spin around and stuff. It will turn if you add pressure to it. Yes, it will, but it shouldn't freely spin or wobble or move. It should be secured down on top of that filter to hold it in place. So that's another thing that we need to make sure we're checking. The one that I love too is when there's dents or bends in the container. What do we do? Come on, Hank. What did you used to do?
Well, what you should not do is try to bang out or bend the container back into its
Yeah,
shape.
I mean, we all did it. Like I did it. I was guilty of it.
I'm not admitting it.
Come on, come on. We used to go get a hammer, like a mallet, right? A
Hmm.
3 pound mallet, and we just bang out the dents and bang it back out. Oh, look, I fixed it, right? And then now the dent's it's not a dent, it's a bulge, right? Because
Yeah,
you went too far the
yeah,
other
the other
way.
way.
But those metal compounds and stuff, and the way that metal is built up, and then the anodized layer that's put on top of that, there's a layer that protects it. So once you start banging that container and you start hammering it to try and fix it, if you're not precise enough with it, you could really damage that layer. Then you start introducing the ability for rusting and all of that kind of damage to happen to that container. So you need to let the experts fix it. Your instrument repair people, those people who know what they're doing, they need to be the ones fixing it. It's not a time to take out your anger. We're not, it's not like, hey, or make metal sculptures, right? So, so yeah, those are some major things with containers that I see that I'm like, we really need to do a better job with looking at them, inspecting them, making sure we're checking those key components, right? We're very, I will say, brutal with rigid containers. If you watch what they go through in decontam, there's just, like I said, no love for rigid containers.
Yeah, yeah.
They get thrown everywhere,
And I'm glad that you brought up that secondary gasket around that retention plate. I know, depending on your container design, not every retention plate has a gasket on it. But the ones that do, to Melinda's point, definitely need to be a part of that every time inspection. That was another phrase that you used. This is not something like, oh, yeah, once a week we'll uh, inspect, or once a month when it comes through, we'll have a pop up. Like, this is just like anything else. You're going to look at your pill pack and your wrap every time before you use it. Same thing with these rigid containers. I think really important insights there, Melinda. Um, the other thing too, like you mentioned these critical components, I just want to throw out, that locking mechanism is another one of those potential failure points on, is it closing properly? Is it locking? If you're having to force it to lock, that's probably a signal that there's something else wrong with the bending
Yeah.
or the
Or
gaskets.
or when you like lock it and they just get the lock on and it pops back.
Yeah, right.
And you're like,
Exactly.
but the lock's holding it, so we're
Something's
good.
there.
We're good.
Yes.
We're good.
Yes.
It's like, no, we're not. Or
Yeah.
just check your sterile storage too. Like sometimes the the lid is bent, right? It doesn't line up. And when you put it down, they manage to shove it onto the container, but there's a big gap on one of the corners where it's not seated correctly. So, making sure those are another inspection points. Like, take a second. It literally takes a second for you to like look over that tray and make sure that lid is seated correctly on there.
Right. And the other thing that you mentioned that I want to call out for folks here, just so you don't miss it, is that PM of either your repair vendor or even your container OEMs, whoever it is. You want someone proactively looking at these devices as well, so that they're not getting to that failure stage in the gaskets or the failure stage with the locks. Many times they can actually catch these issues before they become an issue for your sterility assurance. So great conversation here, Melinda. We're going to have you back next time to talk about tray weights. And it's an interesting, 1-2 punch here because obviously the containers many times are impacting those tray weights. I won't steal anyone's thunder here, but we're going to talk about not only containers and the trays. We'll talk about wraps and the policies and procedures and whatnot. Why weights are a big deal. So hang with us if you're tuning in. If this is your first episode, this is a whole series, guys. We started way back at episode 1. We're in episode 9 right now. So you got a great library behind us. And we got a couple more episodes here before we finish out this first series with Melinda. So please go check it out on the Beyond Clean website or anywhere any of this Beyond Clean content is seen. You'll see it on the YouTube channel and on the social media channels. And if you've got more questions around packaging that we haven't answered yet, we're going to have Melinda's contact info in the show notes. So you can reach out to her direct. I know she'd love to help you in any way that she can. But until we see you again, like we remind you each and every week here at Beyond Clean, keep fighting dirty.